Hi, I'm James Michael Riley, and this is Underhill, one of the first green roof single-family homes in the state of New Jersey. This is a DIY self-built project, and I don't usually dress this way when I'm working on the house, but I had to get dressed up today. So today we're looking at Underhill's electrics from street to panel. The pole that you see immediately beside me here is the electric pole where the utility brought the power over from the street onto the property. It ran on an overhead wire, which is pretty difficult to see because of the brightness of the sky. And it went to this pole here. This is a pole that the utility installed on our property, and we had to sign a document saying that they had the right-of-way, that they had permission to put their pole on our land, which we did. So from the top of that pole, the wire, the cable comes down beside the pole in this conduit. This is a 3-inch PVC conduit, and then down into the ground and underground over to the house. You'll see we have a couple of other conduits here, and I'll talk about those in a moment. So the first thing that the conduit and the cable do as they come over here is to come up to this box, and this holds, of course, the meter. So this is where the worker from the utility can come and read our meter, find out how much juice was used. And from there, it drops back down. Now, for some reason, to the meter, we need 3-inch conduit, but over to the house, we only need 2-inch conduit, even though the cable carrying the power is the same size. I don't know why that is, some peculiarity of code requirements. So the trench runs beside the driveway here. It's about 2 feet underground is where that conduit is buried. And I dug that trench by hand. I judged that it was worth the effort to save the money on a backhoe. You can see some of the digging was tough because we hit some really big rocks. But then the trench and the conduit took a curve, went over to the house, and into the house just above the footings of the wall. Now that 2-inch conduit didn't want to take that kind of curve. It doesn't have that much bend in it. So what the electrician did was apply heat to it so that it would bend, and then when the heat was taken off, then it would maintain that curvature. So then it comes over here. This is a part of the house that is not enclosed yet, but will be someday. And came in just above the footing here, through the foundation wall up here, and to the panel. So everything up to this point was installed by a professional electrician. It's 200 amp service, which is a lot of juice and it could really hurt you. So we judged that was the best way to do that. But some of the things I did to reduce the cost of that part of the installation was, as I mentioned, I dug the trench myself, I drilled the hole through the footing, and I installed this board that the electrical panel is attached to. And then from this point up, all of the circuits that were installed inside the house I did myself, and I'll talk about that in a future video. These are the other 2 conduits that were attached to that pole outside, and I put those there as like a someday conduit, something to hold cable, phone, internet, like that. And they're ready to go to bring stuff in from the street when we add those services in the future.